Hello there, welcome to NTV English News Bulletin. I'm Bhavana Casey. In the beginning, we have the headlines. Meeting of House of Representatives called for 1 p.m. today. National Assembly meeting underway. Kosi Province's Chief Minister expands his cabinet. Jeevan Acharya appointed as Minister of Economic Affairs. Portfolios of two others yet to be finalized. Airstrike kills at least 22 in Sudan's capital, scores injured, army and a paramilitary force battling for control of Khartoum since April. And defending champion Rebekina enters into last 16 of Wimbledon Open, defeating Katie Bolger to next face Beatriz Haddad-Maya. Welcome back. Now we have the news in details. A meeting of the House of Representatives is scheduled to be held today at 1 p.m. The main opposition, CPN-UML, meanwhile has been obstructing the parliament meeting in protest over a recent statement made by Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal at a program. As per the possible agendas unveiled by the federal parliament, a replacement bill related to loan shark is scheduled to be tabled. There is also an agenda to table the bill with the message received from the National Assembly regarding the Nepal University Bill 2018. Law Minister Dhanraj Gurung is also slated to present a proposal for the amendment of some Nepal acts related to the Civil Code 2080, which originated in the National Assembly. Meanwhile, a meeting of the National Assembly is underway. The meeting was rescheduled for today after Friday's session was postponed due to the obstructions from the main opposition, CP&UML. Meanwhile, deliberations on the various headings under the appropriation bill are being held today. The concerned ministers will be responding to the queries of the parliamentarians on July 10 and 11. However, the House members of the CP&UML stood in the House in protest over the recent statement made by the Prime Minister, and the chairperson of the National Assembly asked them to be seated in their respective seats. Chief Minister of Kosi Province, Uddhav Thapa, has expanded his cabinet. Chief Minister Thapa appointed 2 provincial assembly members from the Mao Centre and 1 from the Nepali Congress as the ministers earlier this morning. That includes Jeevan Acharya and Rajendra Karki from the Mao Centre and Ram Kumar Khatri from Nepali Congress. The newly appointed ministers took the oath of office today itself. Acharya has been given the portfolio of Minister of Economic Affairs and Planning, while portfolios of 2 other ministers are yet to be finalized. Chief Minister Thapa, who assumed office on Thursday, had taken the oath of office on Friday. With this update, time to go for a short break, but still to come we have. Welcome back now to more updates. The Narayangarh-Mugli Road section has opened for two-way traffic after the landslide debris was cleared. The road has come into regular operation after a halt of 9 hours since this morning. Traffic in the road was completely blocked after a dry landslide occurred in Kalikhola of Icha Kamana Rural Municipality, Ward number 6, on Saturday afternoon. Police Inspector at Mungling Area Police Office, Vishal Tamang, said the vehicles and passengers stranded since the past 9 years are on their way to their respective destination. This section of the road has been blocked due to frequent landslides for the past 6 months. Now to international updates. A Sudanese army airstrike on the capital has killed at least 22 people and injured many others. The airstrike in the Dar es Salaam district of Omdurman on the opposite bank of Nile to the capital Khartoum early on Saturday. The army and a paramilitary force have been battling for control of the capital since April. The conflict began after the head of army, General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, and the head of rapid support forces, General Muhammad Hamdan Dagalo, fell out over the future of the country. Several allies of the U.S. have expressed unease at Washington's decision to supply Ukraine with cluster bombs. On Friday, the U.S. confirmed it was sending the controversial weapons to Ukraine, with President Joe Biden calling it a very difficult decision. In response, the UK, Canada and Spain all said they oppose the use of the weapons. Cluster bombs have been banned by more than 100 countries because of the danger they pose to civilians. They typically release lots of smaller bomblets that can kill indiscriminately over a wide area. More updates lined up on the other side, but before that, let's have the highlights first. Welcome back. Now to more updates. Heavy monsoon rains in Pakistan over the past week killed at least 50 people across the country, nearly a year after massive flooding killed more than 1,700 people and affected 33 million others. In neighboring India, about a dozen districts in the northeastern state of Assam were hit by deadly flash floods in June, forcing thousands to flee their homes and seek refuge at makeshift relief camps. Climate change-induced downpours, drought and soaring temperatures have become increasingly common across the 8 countries of South Asia, making it one of the world's most vulnerable regions to the impacts of the global warming. Salim-ul-Haq, director at the International Center for Climate Change and Development, said the region is particularly at risk because of the combination of geography, population and poverty. A one-of-a-kind undersea concert spotlighted reef protection while entertaining divers and snorkelers in Florida Keys waters, home to the continental United States' only living coral barrier reef. The 39th annual Lower Keys Underwater Musical Festival was held at Low Key Reef, an area of the Florida Keys National Marine Sanctuary. The sanctuary protects the waters surrounding the entire Keys Island chain. Music broadcast by the radio station was piped underwater via speakers suspended beneath boats that were positioned above the reef. While the festival offered a unique experience, its primary purpose was to inform participants about eco-conscious diving practices and ways they can protect the Keys reef ecosystem. More updates lined up on the other side, but before that, let's have the highlights first. Now to sports. Katie Boutler's bid to reach the Wimbledon last 16 for the first time ended quickly as she was outclassed by defending champion Elena Rybakina. The British #1 was the final home player, left in the singles draws, but lost 6-1, 6-1 in just 57 minutes. Kazakhstan's Rybakina, seeded third, showed why she is heavily tipped to retain her title in a powerful display. The 24-year-old will now next meet Brazilian 13th seed Beatriz Haddad Meia for a place in the quarterfinals. England beat Australia by 5 wickets in a rain-affected 30-20 of the multi-format Ashes at the Lords, inflicting a first series defeat on the world champions since 2017. The result also narrows the overall points-based Ashes scoreline to 6-4, with 3 one-day internationals remaining, each worth 2 points. England was set a revised target of 119 in 14 overs and reached it with 4 balls remaining, set up by Alice Capsey's electric 46.23 balls. The match also set a new record attendance for a women's bilateral fixture in England, with 21,610 packing inside the Lords. Well, with this update, we come to the end of this English News Bulletin. But before we say goodbye, let's have a quick reminder of the major stories. Meeting of the House of Representatives called for 1 p.m. today. National Assembly meeting underway. Kosi Province's Chief Minister expands his cabinet. Jeevan Acharya appointed as Minister of Economic Affairs. Portfolios of 2 others yet to be finalized. Airstrike kills at least 22 in Sudan's capital, scores injured army and a paramilitary force battling for control of Khartoum since April. And defending champion Elena Rybakina enters into last 16 of Wimbledon Open, defeating Katie Boutler to next face Beatrice Haddad-Mayer. That's all we have in this edition of English News Bulletin. We'll see you again with the next round of English Bulletin at 6 in the evening. Till then, have a great time ahead and do stay tuned with us to catch the latest news updates and other programs. Namaste.